This video is made for adult collectors because something game old now. I hate that this game is old now. They fix so much on this, but it still isn't perfect. Barricade has so many issues for a modern toy that I'm curious as to how it made it out. Like, I know they know it's not up to the current standard, and I would love to ask why at some point. But with this being a partial of Barricade, they were able to learn from those mistakes and make something that actually feels fun to mess with. This is the Decepticon Soldier, a Gamer Edition toy that isn't great, but better. A lot better. The problems he carries over from Barricade are the hollowness, if that bugs you, the lack of an ankle tilt, that bugs me, and the hips only go out that far, sorry. But it fixes like all the other problems I had with it. First of all, he stands now, like they made the leg kibble go further down and actually tab in, sort of, allowing the figure to not fall over. He does lose the ports on the bottom of his feet because his feet are smaller, but like I didn't care. The wrists can now swivel, there's no kibble around them, so you know, he has that piece of articulation, and the mold just sort of fits this design better to me. I still don't understand why he's so big. Like, he wasn't this tall in the game unless you're up against those massive back-only dudes with the hammers that were annoying because they would stop your abilities. I love the head sculpt, though it can be a bit hard to grip at times to like turn it because of the shape. But the size and the actual like sculpt with the visor, like the Mandalorian T looking thing, is really cool. He comes with the same gun as Barricade, which is nice. I hope that what John said at San Diego Comic-Con goes through and we get more accessory packs, because a War for Cybertron / Fall of Cybertron gun pack would be awesome. Now, for being as clunky and as chunky as he isn't the most posable. However, I'm still gonna do like a posing montage thing because I want to show you that even though this is limited, because of his extra little stability things, he can do a lot. Not the most dynamic, but I still wanted to show you that you can at least do stuff with this. Anyways, his posing, it's pretty much the same as this dude, but like with a little bit more range in most areas, and then the shoulders are the only part that I don't really like. So, well, one of the two. The head can rotate left and right, it can look up and down, and you can take advantage of that hinge that's here even more due to the shape of his torso. So you have that little hinge at the neck as well, so you can look up about that far, and you can look down quite far, which is good. The shoulders can rotate there on ball joints, they can do a full 360, but they can only go out that far. On Barricade, they can go out a little bit further. I wish there was a cut right here that went up here that allowed for the shoulder joint to move higher up, because the wheels and the sculpt here gets in the way, so that's as far as he can go. And then when you're rotating it, right, it's gonna unpeg the backpack just because of the wheels. Granted, the backpack's not gonna flop around, so you can move it however you want and then just line it up later. I like that, but I do wish the shoulders had a bit more range. You do have a bicep rotation. You have 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, which Barricade did not have. You have a wrist rotation, waist rotation. Hips can go forward, they can go back. They can only go out about that far. You have a thigh rotation, which is great. However, when the leg's up here, you can't really use it due to the way his thigh is sculpted. You have 90 degrees of bend at the knee. Out here, that comes unpegged quite a bit. It's a little annoying. It doesn't actually lock in. I really wish it did. Also, when you bend the knee, watch this piece of armor here. It stays. Now, there is a peg right in there that goes into that slot, but it doesn't lock. There's no click. I wish there was a click. Both knees do this. Look, see, they both do that. Kind of wish it stayed in place, but it does not, and that is pain. And then the feet can go forward. That's it. So he's not the most posable thing in the world. Like, this is more posable than him, and this costs less. But you can at least do some stuff with it. Also, the arm does have the thing. It can sort of store back there if you want it to. But yeah, I still wish it was better. I really hope they don't use this mold for the Autobot Trooper, because please you make a new one. That would be nice. So yeah, that's the robot. It's but it still looks pretty cool, and given certain angles and poses, he can look nicer than Barricade. So his transformation is pretty much Barricades, but unlike Barricade, there's different locking tabs and different like subtle different things that are like throughout this figure. So to start with, take the backpack and just bring it out, and then the worst sound ever. Ugh. Ah. It feels like it's gonna break. It's not. It's this little tab here clipping into place. But yeah, it's annoying. Barricade has that too, but it doesn't sound like this. But we'll take that and bring that out to the side. Now we're gonna open up the hands, rotate the hands in so that they're sort of sitting like that, kind of. And then it'll snap shut. The hands have to be at that slight angle, otherwise the door won't close properly. But there we go, we got that snapped in. We're going to rotate the waist 180 degrees, fold up the feet, peg the legs together on every single part. Oh, come on. There we go. But don't fold that down just yet. Now, the one difference is the legs here. These actually peg into those square holes right there. You got that little peg right there that goes into that slot. So you want to unpeg it and then peg it into here. Unpeg it, peg it into here. Now the arms on Barricade, they would have tabbed into a thing here. Now they latch onto this part. So you shift the arm down and then you latch it over that. And it will also peg into the side of the leg. So you get it all latched over, and that keeps everything nice and secure and in place. Then you want to bring this section up, close that up, and then you want to bring this down and it will slide over that. And also over this here, if you make sure everything's lined up correctly. There we go. And once that's all done, there you go. This doesn't sit flat, but I'll talk about that later. It seems to be just a my copy thing, but get everything nice and squeezed together. Now the gun can store on the back here still, or you can peg it into the top if you would like. I'm going to peg it into the back because that's the best way to hide it away. But that's it. You know, not a terrible transformation. It's honestly kind of, I like doing it back and forth. It's such a big palm figure. Like, look at it, it's huge. He becomes a much wider vehicle. My copy's roof won't sit flush. There's some excess in there I need to shave off, but I'm too lazy to fix it. I wish the purple was a bit more vibrant here. It would have helped like the wheels not look as plain, because there is purple on it, but it's really hard to see because it's so thin. It's about the size of a hamburger, which is kind of funny. It's just, you hold it and you're like, ah, burger. The burger. But I dig the size of the alt mode. I just hope they make some new versions in different colors soon. I'd love to army build ones that are like red or like more green on them or something like that, or even black, dark purple. That'd be cool. It's a nice addition to the gamer's shelf, and it's a lot better than Barricade. Now, Barricade wasn't a full price recommendation, and this still isn't, but it's better, that's for sure. At the time of writing this, Target is having a sale. I think it's like 15% off most of the toys in the toy aisle. So getting this on sale, I'd say, yeah, it's a pickup. I still don't think it's worth full price just because it's so weird. It feels like a 2010 toy that they're selling now in terms of like articulation and level of engineering. It still needs some improvements. And I hope when they do an Autobot Soldier, I hope it's a different mold entirely. But that's my look at the Decepticon Soldier. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.